Welcome to the Powercast with Charlie Johnson. I'm one of the world's leading fitness and transformation coaches. I'm going to be providing you with the tools to build your ultimate body and mind. So, pleasure today to have Paul Andrews, Shreddin8 Client Superstar on the podcast as a client guest podcast episode. So, pleasure to have you on board, Paul.
Thanks, mate. It's a pleasure to be here.
So, myself and Paul have actually trained together in person, so I had the pleasure of putting you through a few grueling sessions. But just so anyone who hasn't seen you already on my social media before, Paul, give us a little bit of a background of who you are, what you do, and just a bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm a dad primarily, and yeah, I wanted to get fit. I wanted to be that person that my kids could aspire to be. And I couldn't really find the best way of doing it. Went through some fad exercises and some really quite poor PDF documents that I wrote down, and I didn't see any change for ages. And I just gave up and thought, you know what, can't be asked. And then I rejoined Instagram because I was having my tattoo done on my sleeve, and it's being done by a friend of mine. So I said, I'll promote it for you. And the first day there was a thing there for Charlie, and I thought, right, let's have a little look, see what he's about. He's got bright yellow hair.
So,
okay, I'll click on it. I read through and I thought that looks great. I'll park it for a bit, and then he came up again, and I thought, right, okay, fair enough. This is what it's about. I'm gonna have a go. And I thought to myself, do you know what? I go out and I spend like 85 or 99 pound in a night on booze and eating crap and feeling like shit for the rest of the weekend. I might as well get this. It's 8 weeks. And if it turns out that he is, what's your term, an internet cowboy, was it?
Internet hustler.
Internet hustler. Sorry. If it turns out to be an internet hustler, then I've just lost a weekend, basically. I mean, it turns out you're not. So, yeah, that's basically me. You probably see me on his stories with the hashtag CJ Walking Club vibe.
Yeah, you're a regular participant, and also we did a pretty dope YouTube video of training together at the start of the Shreddin8 program. That was pretty cool. So that was
actually, Magic Mike on the video. That was really good, actually, and I hurt for about 2 days after. I've never had a back session like that before. That was naughty.
Yeah, it was pretty wicked. So just to give everyone a bit of a breakdown in terms of, obviously, you mentioned what your sort of goals are. Was there a specific trigger point that started you with your journey?
Yeah, my clothes stopped fitting me, and I had that I had that fat person thing where you put a t-shirt on and it hangs, and there's a little gap, like a little triangle bit. When you look down, you think, oh, it doesn't cover my belly fully, and this used to. And I thought, you know what, I can't be doing that, because I always used to be quite fit. I've done lots of mud runs, I've done tough mudders, I've done, all of those sorts of things, and I was in really good shape. And then I tore my ACL with one of the races. And just got really lazy. And I thought, I can't be doing this. I felt rubbish. I wasn't sleeping well. My mood was awful. And, more specifically really is I wanted my kids to sort of look at me and think nice things rather than, oh, dad's moany again, dad's grumpy again.
Be proud.
Yeah, be proud of it. Yeah, I wanted, the influence I want to set to my kids obviously was a positive one. And since I've done this, my kids have actually commented, like, you're a lot smilier now. You're not grumpy as much anymore. So even though I'm getting less sleep and working harder, I feel $1 million.
No, that's awesome. And your progress that we've seen so far has been truly outstanding. I think, like, the big thing that I would say from my point of view, which is the most important thing, is the consistency. And, like, that's part of the reason, like, me and Paul have got a joke. Well, it's not a joke, it's a very serious thing. The morning cardio routine is the hashtag CJ Walking Club, because it's good to keep it, like, have that banter and that spirit amongst with social media and creating community. It helps to give motivation, and within, like, obviously the Shreddin8 program, which you signed up for, that's one of the big parts of it, is creating, like, a community of like-minded individuals who've got the same goals and aspirations, and then you can almost lean on each other when times are getting tougher, you're struggling a little bit, and, like, other people can share their progress and their journey together, and it motivates each other. I think that's worked pretty well.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. I mean, the hashtag CJ Walking Club thing in the morning is an accountability thing. I've said to you that I will do it every morning. So now I will do it every morning. I didn't yesterday, admittedly. I pressed snooze on my alarm and I didn't wake back up till 8:30, and then my kids were jumping on me and I thought...
It should have been the CJ Evening Walking Club then. Should have been the evening.
I know, I did go out in the evening. Yeah, I went out for a 45-minute walk.
Where was the story?
I thought it was only a morning thing, man. I didn't know. I thought it was set. I thought there was a structure.
You could just blagged and said you had a bad internet connection.
I'm a terrible liar. The support group on Facebook has been a godsend. I can't. There's been times when I've been in the gym and I've been really struggling. I'm thinking to myself, do you know what? I'll just leave it at sort of 2 sets rather than the 3. But then I can just see the people not even being there, just saying, come on, push yourself. You can do this. Get over it. I mean, there's a classic post from Pete Church, who you trained with a couple of days ago, who I referred to as the second best looking bald man in the group behind me. He said about he went shopping and the next thing he knew he had I think it may be a lasagna in his basket.
Yeah, Waitrose lasagna or something in his basket.
Yeah. And then he could hear all of us saying, put it back, and he put it back. And that's exactly it. That's what it is. I've had the pleasure of actually training with a couple of people who live locally to me. But these people that you've never met, you've got each other's back because you're going through the same steps. You're doing the same thing. You're feeling the same. And it's great to be able to lean on someone and write your things down. I've written an accountability post where it was the first couple of weeks and I wrote down, I've had a cake, and, accountability post, and everyone was like, right, get back on it. Because otherwise I'd have been like, I feel like crap. That was rubbish. But they bounce you back up, and seeing everybody else's progress pictures as well really does give you a kick up the arse, because you think, Jesus Christ, they've achieved some serious results. Maybe I need to put an extra rep in. Maybe I need to do another 10 minutes of cardio, because this is a competition. And although everyone who takes part and takes it seriously is a winner, I want to be coming out on top, And
it's, I think what's quite interesting, obviously you work in IT, Paul, is that I think it's an amazing world with technology now where you can find like-minded individuals through something like this sort of program, and then you become friends. And like, it's insane for me how life works, how you can then build this network of friends around your goal and your vision, who will then support you, who you've never found without like the program and the Facebook group. And then you suddenly know all these people who are like-minded. It's a bizarre and incredible world we live in, where we have these opportunities that we didn't have like 15 years ago.
Yeah, it's crazy, because I trained with 2 people from the group. I've trained with Nick and I've trained with Fran. Both.
Who trains harder? Say
to be honest, I would be lying. But if I didn't say Fran, I would be lying. She was an absolute tank, mate. We did legs.
Yeah, me laughing about like taking the piss out of this now, isn't he?
She didn't even like break a sweat, and I'm crying, and she's putting extra weight on for me, and I'm thinking, I can't flake. I've got to push harder, And I would struggle bad. And she's just like, right, well, when can you do this again? I'm like, I'm a bit busy for a while.
So you got by one of the female competitors in Shreddin8 then, Paul, you're admitting?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've got no shame in that. No shame at all. So yeah, I trained with Nick as well. He's not far from where I work, actually. So I went down to his gym and we did, I think we did we do back? No, yeah, we did back, I think, or lats or something like that. And it was quite interesting that we did that one, because that was the first session that we ever did together. And I told him about, pull with your little finger, keep your back straight, slightly lean back. And he instantly was like, Jesus Christ, I can feel the engagement straight away. And I got that, although it wasn't necessarily my knowledge that I'd passed on, but telling someone how to do something and then getting a real buzz out of it.
That made you feel cool.
Yeah, it made me feel brilliant. I was like, Jesus Christ, I get why you do it now.
It's I trained with a young chap yesterday. He's like 16, and
I saw that he couldn't even lift the bar again. That's brilliant.
I ruined him in a good way, but like he was like he's pretty bad today. Probably we only trained arms, so like I thought I'd go easy on him. And I was already trained earlier in the morning, so I was only like 50%. But for me, like there's no greater feeling in the world when teaching someone something like that and they really appreciate it. And you'd have had that with him, and then like you suddenly see their face light up, like what the fuck was that? I've never felt that in my life before. And it's almost like you've just connected all the dots within their body and it's just come alive. So that for me is an incredible experience. and something like I'm very fortunate to have the ability to pass on that knowledge to people like yourself, and then you can pass it on again. So it's knowledge is to be shared once acquired, in my opinion.
Absolutely, yeah, I'm all about that, especially in my job as well in IT. There's you share as much as you possibly can, because if you say, for instance, take IT, if I share something to somebody and then they take that, manipulate it slightly, they might have a better way of doing something. But keeping it to yourself, you're never going to know that it could be better.
Yeah,
you know?
100%. There's always room for improvement. The time you think you know everything is the time you're game over and done in any field of life, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
So with the program and obviously the diet, how did you find the initial setup of that? So let's just run us through with what you were eating before and what you currently eat now.
Oh, mate, before was naughty. I used to, well, I've got a subsidised cafe in my building, so that, instantly you think, okay, what's going on here? So I could get a foot-long baguette with sausage, and that was £1.50. So you get 2 sausages.
I was about to say, you got more than one though, didn't you then?
No, well, yeah. In a foot-long baguette, you get 2 sausages for £1.50, and I'd have that every single morning without fail. That would be me. Bosh, have that. Thank you very much. Full fat Coke. Wash that down with it. About 11 o'clock, feel a little bit hungry. Vending machine. Bosh, couple of packets of crisps, and I'm talking 2 packets of crisps and a chocolate bar quite easily. Hammer them down, and then lunch will come round. And if I had the time in the evening, which I used to always make an excuse, I can't do that because I don't know why I can't make myself a sandwich. I'd just go and I'd have, I don't know, McDonald's, or I'd go to the Spoons with a work friend, or I'd go to KFC and I'd smash down some absolutely disgraceful food. And then I'd come back and about 3 o'clock I'd eat again, just because, why not? And I wasn't training at this point either. So, it was literally
that fuel wasn't going to use anywhere.
No, my exercise was walking from my house to the station and then from the station to work. And that, I think I accumulated on average well under 10,000 steps a day. So it's a recipe for a disaster. And then I come home and, my other half's pretty good. She does sort of, well, she did sort of say, look, we need to start, stopping the freezer meals and the things like that. But I would be like, no, I want to have this, I want that, I want this, I want this, thanks very much. And I'd have the share, I'm terrible with chocolate. The share bars, I'd eat them all myself. So the pound big, sort of 500 gram share bars, I'd have one of those a night on my own, just watching telly. I wouldn't even grumble at it. It was awful. So this is obviously the second Shreddin8 program that I did. The first one I started back in March, but unfortunately I got quite unwell. I had a bad chest infection, so I wasn't actually able to finish that. So I stopped that and I skipped to the next one to get into full health. And then I started this one and I've really given it everything. And the diet on this one, I won't lie, the first week was very difficult to get my timings right with the breakfast and then the pre-workout meal and everything. But after I'd figured out what time I needed to wake up, when I needed to eat, it's so easy. It's like ridiculously easy. And everyone say, there was a few people at the beginning saying, oh, I'm going to get sick of chicken after 8 weeks. I'm going to get sick of steak. There's seasonings out there that you can put on seasonings and you can swap. Bob, it's not difficult. So doing that, it do that in the evening. So I would cook my dinner, which is 175 grams of steak mince. I'd have that with some veg and stuff. And whilst I was eating that, I'd have the other food cooking ready. And then I'd finish my food. I'd take that out, dish it into my meal prep boxes, leave that to cool down. And then an hour later, I'd have my pre-bed meal, which is some skyr yogurt and some 90% dark chocolate, which I've come to love. Because if you melt it and you dribble it over the top, it's lovely.
I've never thought about doing that, to be fair.
Yeah, so I melt it and I dribble it over the top. It looks nice and you can write things in it or draw naughty things like boobies. And then it tastes lovely and you don't get the bitterness sometimes. So it's quite nice like that.
That's a sneaky tip there, the melting it. Personally, I'm a big fan of the sugar-free Hershey's chocolate syrup, which I get from Amazon. So I tend to go for that and the Lindt dark chocolate. So that is the combo of the two that I find work best together. In terms of like overall health and digestion wise, do you find that you've been actually better generally since starting the diet?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, going out, like the previous podcast that you did with the who was the chap that said about going out for a 10-minute walk after you eat?
Yeah.
I mean, that was a brilliant podcast. Good Lord. I do that now. I had been doing that for the last couple of weeks. I'll eat my breakfast and I'll go out for a walk, or I'll do my morning walk, come back, eat, then I'll go out for a 10-minute walk, come back, and that has helped immensely. I don't feel bloated. I don't feel disgusting. It's made me feel a bit leaner as well, bizarrely enough, maybe because my stomach is coming in. So overall, although I am in theory eating more often, it's the right food, and my digestion's been fantastic. I've not felt rubbish at all.
And a lot of that's because the food choices we put into the diets are like low inflammation foods and not very heavily processed. So the main reason you tend to get digestive issues if you eat a lot of heavily processed foods, like, I don't know, for example, like pies and pastries and things like that, which are quite heavily manufactured. Your stomach doesn't tend to break them down very well, which will then cause digestive issues. The same with anything that's quite heavily artificial or a mixture of fats and carbohydrates, your body will tend to struggle. So that's why we tend to steer generally to cleaner foods, although as Paul is a big advocate of, obviously I'm a big fan of the cereal post-workout. So the reason, which may sound like a strange concept to most people think of like mental when I send them a diet plan this at the start. What was your first reaction when you saw that, out of curiosity?
When I saw it initially, I thought, chocolate Cocoa Pops. But you mean I can have dark chocolate and chocolate Cocoa Pops? I was like, I thought maybe you'd made a mistake, but then I also thought I'm not going to say anything because I can eat it still.
and how much weight have you lost eating Cocoa Pops and dark chocolate so far?
I'll tell you what, mate, I've been a nerd. I wrote it down before. So my starting weight, I've done it in all three measurements.
Let's roll them off, a roll call of success so far.
So I started this program at 86.2 kilograms.
Okay.
And I'm now 78.6 kilograms.
Jesus.
Which is just over 1.13 stone loss.
Impressive.
In 5 weeks, yeah. And it shows. I've still got a little bit more to come off, but that's probably just me being like overly critical on myself.
Everyone's like that. You'll never, like, as sadistic as the people's own bodily opinions are, you'll never be fully happy. You're always chasing the sunset. So that's one of those things I think I know you're intelligent enough as well to understand. It's just a mindset thing that I think everyone will have. Yeah.
You wake up in the morning, you look at yourself, and it's like from Arnold when you were doing pumping iron, and he's looking at himself, and from your point of view, you think, Jesus Christ, he's in really good shape. And he goes, I need to add a bit more here. This needs to come off here. This needs to come here. It's trying to sculpt the perfect body. And although there are competitions that will tell you the perfect body looks like this, you'll never find your perfect body.
No,
but you can't stop chasing it.
No such thing at all. So that's why I think it's so the best piece of advice I can give anyone, and this is what people are very hesitant with at the start as well, the start of the journey, and why the Shreddin8 program and with all my clients who work so well. Take photos to start. Just document everything you do, because in any moment of self-doubt, if you look back, you're like, shit, that's what I looked like 5 weeks ago. This is what I look like now. Like, it's worth then sometimes feeling a bit like hungry or like, oh, I've got to go work out, I'm a bit tired. And then you look back and think, oh, look at the results I'm getting. I need to keep this going. Where can I go with this? And then like success becomes addictive, and then it becomes not necessarily a chore anymore. You then start to enjoy the journey more, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the picture that I put in the Facebook group of my before and after, I wasn't going to do that, but there were so many people doing it. I thought, I need to jump on this, because I needed a bit of a boost, because I was feeling a bit shy, and I was feeling a bit down. I was tired.
I like to jump in, and I dropped one in.
Yeah, you did. You absolutely did. Yeah, you're with your anabolic
flops on.
But yeah, when I sent that in, I sent it to Nick. Nick Jowett, that I trained with, went to him first, and he said, "Christ, I could have lived in your belly button," which really made me laugh. Because looking back, I was really fat. Like I thought I looked all right, and I was like, "Bloody hell, that's not acceptable."
No, that's but like now, at the time, you probably when you were taking those photos, you probably felt a bit like put out having to do it. But now you look back, it gives you real context of the journey you've come on, how far you've progressed.
Oh, 100%. I wish I'd have taken a better photo, because I took it so close up, and the poor lighting So I was just like, I've got to take one because he needs me to take one to send it to him. I'll just take it like this. Now I wish I'd have stood back so I could do a proper body side-by-side comparison. I'm a little bit annoyed that I didn't. I think a lot of people do that. They take photos of their before. They're sort of all hunched and they're not really comfortable in their own skin. And then 5 weeks down the line, every mirror I'm sort of looking, thinking, what's the lighting like in that? Can I get a cheeky pad?
Can you see a tricep?
Terrible, yeah. So I'm sort of like squeezing my traps to be like, how big are they in that mirror over there?
That's perfect here. What would be your advice for anyone who's questioning whether it's worth joining into something like this as a program? Because I'm a big saying I love is that don't think what will it cost, but think what will it cause. Because in my opinion, like everything I've ever spent on myself in life to improve, make myself better physically or mentally, has never, ever, ever been a waste of money.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. And like I said before, I would have spent that in a weekend going out, getting drunk and feeling like crap for a few days afterwards. What I've got out of this is 8 weeks worth of dieting and training. I actually had a message from one of my friends yesterday and said, can you hook me up with what you're training at the moment? And I said, I can do you one better than that. Here's the link. Go and sign up if you want.
I've had a few people say the same thing to me as well, to be fair.
Yeah, so he said, can you send me what you're eating? And I said, all right, do me 2 things. How tall are you? I'm 6'3". Okay, how much do you weigh? 109 kilograms. Right, well, when I started, I was 5'10", and I weighed 18.6 or something. Our macros would be completely different. Yeah. Our nutrition would be completely different. So I can't tell you what I'm eating. You'll be in a ridiculous calorie deficit and you go into starvation mode and you probably feel like crap. So I said to him, look, it's this. I mean, the early bird's on at the moment still. I think it's until the 11th, maybe. Yeah. So I said, look, you've got until then. Go and sign up and get it done. He was like, okay, I will. And he hasn't got back to me today. So actually after this, I'm going to chuck him a message and say, go and sign up.
So Charlie. You've publicly called him out now.
Yeah. So yeah, Ches, go and sign up now. You publicly been called out on Shreddin8 and the Charlie podcast.
I'm going to keep an eye out for him signing up now. So
his name will be Matt, actually, but we call him Ches because he's Northern and Ginger.
What's his name?
His name's Matt.
Okay, Matt. I'm looking for you, Matt, when you sign up. I'll make sure you get the most Shreddin8 diet plan ever, so we can set examples you can try and compete with Paul.
Yeah, he travels quite a lot, actually. So his job, he does travel around quite often. So I've said to him, you need to be on top of your meal planning.
Yeah, I think one of the other things you like as well, one of the best things obviously you mentioned in terms of the program as well as like also the people you've met. I think it's pretty cool. You mentioned obviously you and Nick were messaging. You sent him your like transformation progress photos for approval. I think it's quite cool because like that's quite a close personal bond to send someone like that to get their opinion.
We speak all day, every day, pretty much. Me and Nick,
that's awesome.
Yeah, because he's injured his arm.
He was messaging me.
Yeah, the guy who went on the stag and decided to do an arm wrestle because it's fun to do stuff like that when you're drunk.
Is that how he did it?
That's how he did it. Yeah, so I've grasped you.
He didn't tell me that. You've grasped him up now.
So yeah, he'll message me. We probably spoke about 10 minutes before we jumped on this actually, and it's just like little messages like, "What are you up to? How you feeling? How's your arm?" And he'll say to me like, "How's the holiday? What are you doing? How's the training going?" Etc. Etc. And it's the same with Fran as well. We obviously exchange numbers so we can link up and train. And I'll send her a message, how's your training going? Keep up, keep it strong. And it's great because although Facebook's good, I'm terrible. Even though I work in IT, I'm not that great with Facebook. I'm not really all that savvy on it. I signed up again. I deleted it about 5 years ago, but I signed up again to join the program. So having people on my WhatsApp is a lot easier because I'm more active on that. And we can quickly send each other a quick message. And it's great because if you need a reply quite quickly, like, oh, Nick, or Fran, I'm feeling like crap, tell me I'm great. And when they say you, so Nick right here probably tell me I'm a dick or something. But it's really good because I certainly with Nick and with Fran as well, I will be friends after this program's finished and we'll keep training together after this program's finished. So it's not so much once the program's finished, it's game over. It's the program's finished, but we're friends, we train, we're like-minded. Let's get it done.
That's awesome. That's part of what it's all about. Again, it's just bringing people together, like I said before, on the same journey to try and help them to live the best, most positive life they can, which obviously add a lot of value to each other. What I think will be exciting for you as well is obviously we've got a few more weeks left, and then we've got a photo shoot booked in for you with Ben at the program, which will be exciting. So I had a photo shoot with one of my other one-to-one clients, David, this morning.
Saw him, it looked ridiculous in the unedited photo. Christ.
Oh, mate, yeah, he's literally like super shredded. So he was really, really pleased. The only thing I felt a bit bad from we were all stressing out a little bit because there was a major problem in the M25 this morning, so it was running a little bit late, and I knew he'd be panicking a little bit. So, but he was fine. Did a superb job and literally looked insane. So there'll be some shit hot images of him coming soon, which I'm sure will help motivate everyone else under the part of the CJ coaching team, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm going to have to up my cardio a bit because my photos aren't going to be as shredded as him.
Mate, you've got a few weeks left. You'll be fine. Yeah,
I mean, the program finishes for me a couple of days before everyone because we started a few days ago to get the video done. And then I stupidly, this is my logic. Oh, right. So we started on the first of this. So 8 weeks is 2 months. Okay. So it's the end of August, wicked. And then I booked the shooting, completely forgetting that it's 8 weeks, not 4 weeks. So we've got a week after that. So I've got another week to really bring it in.
Yeah, exactly. We'll let you have that little sneaky week there, Paul. So I think we're coming for the seminar this weekend, the free CJ coaching seminar.
Yeah, I'm there, mate. I'm there. So I get back from holiday on Friday about 5 o'clock. Pack my bag, go to bed, get up at 6, jump on the train, up we go.
So there'll be some dedication to the cause there. So absolutely love that, mate. So what we're going to do this weekend is we're going to run you through some more execution ideas and like tips and cues that'll help you to get more out of your training. I'll be running it through with all of my online one-to-one clients and Shreddin8 members. So again, it's something for me that's completely free, giving back to everyone, just to try and, again, help educate people and provide as much value as we can. If you had one tip for anyone who's sitting on the fence about starting their own transformation journey, because like that's the biggest thing I think people have issues with, in my opinion, because people are scared to reach out and ask for help sometimes. What would you say to them?
I would probably say you're not going to transform yourself by sitting there thinking about it. Just get it done. And as I said before, it's 100 or it's 85 quid at the moment, and it's not a lot of money. And the results that you'll get are ridiculous. It's tailored to you, so you can specify. Like in my thing, I said salmon's the devil's food. Please don't give me any salmon. So I don't have salmon food. Whereas Nick's got salmon. I don't, thankfully, because it makes me heave. And it's completely tailored to me, so it was what I liked. So if anyone's thinking, I'm not really sure whether it's for me, what have you got to lose? Really? What have you got to lose? Nothing. Get in there and you realise, Jesus Christ, I've just joined a community. And, well, I probably message you every day. Not me.
Actually do. I probably message you more than my mum, to be fair. That's actually probably not a lie either, actually.
It's not. I don't even mean to. It's just something pops into my head, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, just let him know that quickly." Like with the ideas that I have for training videos and stuff for you and Mike and things.
It's very helpful.
Oh, actually, I can elaborate a bit more now. We're talking about my idea because I was absolutely shattered on that day. So the idea was, and now it's on the podcast. You can't get out of it either. Yeah, it was. There's 3 exercises. One's picked by you, one's picked by Mike. They're body weight exercises. So they could be squats, they could be deads, they could be anything that you can do body weight. And you rep out as many as you possibly can. So if it goes to 1 for Mike and 1 for you, the third one is decided by a poll within the Charlie Johnson Dream Team for the last exercise. And then whoever loses has to go to Muscle Works in Orpington at 6 o'clock when it's peak and have to train in a tutu.
All right, but what do we see? You can do those reps.
Yeah, you can do the reps of body weight.
This is bullshit because I'm not a rep specialist. I'm a strength.
Oh, there we go.
6 to 10 in my zone. If we do it on body weight ratios, instead of doing body weight, if we did like 1.5 times body weight or double your body weight, then I'm in. Like that's me, I'll win. But if it's on like lighter weight and more reps, my lactic acid threshold is so poor that I get to about 20 and my body just starts to have like convulsing from trying to get rid of lactic acid out of my muscles. I think it's because I'm too jacked, but
I'm sure that's what it is. I'll tell you what then, I'll let you and Mike iron out the details, but everyone else in the competition.
I'll get training for it.
I'll take part as well if you want. We can do it as part of another video. I'll take part. I don't care. I'll train in a tutu.
Fair, it's not a bad shout. They'll probably even out then, to be fair. I might have a chance of not being last. So just to finish that up, obviously you said that in terms of obviously the diet and everything's all like customized to you, so it's all stuff you actually enjoy, and that's something I really wanted to finish on. And that's something that if you can't be happy on the journey, how can you be happy at the destination? So the whole point of like the Shreddin8 program, you're gonna have to work hard, but you'll also enjoy the process. You'll have a phenomenal time, meet some amazing people, and get in the best shape of your life. So that's the whole point of the process, for you to enjoy it and then get results and then be happy at the end destination. So absolute pleasure to have you on the podcast today, Paul. I very much look forward to seeing you at the seminar at the weekend. I'm going to try and get us to go out for a meal afterwards as well. So I'm going to try and think of somewhere appropriate we can eat, probably Nando's, because that's normally the easiest.
I'll bring my food with me, mate, no worries.
Or wherever. So I shall see you then. And if anyone has any questions in regards to the Shreddin8 program, by means, drop me a message, or maybe even drop Paul a message for any indirect feedback. What's your Instagram handle, Paul, if you don't mind getting bombarded by anyone who wants to...
No, crack on. My handle is payk.flandros. It's payk.flandross, which is, if you type my name really quickly into something, it will auto-correct it into that. So obviously Paul Andrews was taken, so I had to go for that one.
Fair enough. I always wondered why it's such a weird username. All right. Well, absolute pleasure to have you on the podcast this afternoon, mate. And I very much look forward to seeing you at the weekend.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Take care.
Thank you.